Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hi. Nice to meet you. Well, should we go straight to Erica? How do you do?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Where are you calling from today?
Oh, from Nashville.
Oh,
I'm
lovely.
Shariva and I are friends.
Oh, brilliant. And so has she been saying wonderful things about the PLC, I hope?
She has. It's so funny. She and I, Shariva, do they know that you
The
do aerial?
mermaid thing, yeah. The
Oh
aerial
yeah.
thing.
So Shariva and I were both in our aerial class, and she is one of my mermaids for my mermaid group. And I came out and I said, Shriva, I really need to talk to you. First of all, what's making this my business move forward is that I received an arts grant from the city. And
Oh,
so
good.
that, thank you. And so I told Shriva, I said, listen, I really want to do something that will help the community have jobs. And so she said, well, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know. I said, it just seems like there's so many things going wrong with this. Hospitals are going to be shut down here in America. I said, I just want to help people, but like what I received the grant and it's to show the art, but I said I don't want it to be, I want to invest in something moving forward and keep that in the state of mind. So I said, I don't, she said, oh, I have just a group for you. And so I was like, I knew I listened. I listened. It said, speak to Shariva today. And so,
Oh, that's brilliant. I love any creative outlet. If the thing about creative outlets is that they're so versatile as well. I mean, as you're speaking, I'm thinking, well, wouldn't it be lovely to have like a kind of flow system where you have people coming in, learning the craft, and then they're, qualified at the end of that course or that the end of that training. And so you can constantly provide that guidance for
wow.
young people, maybe all ages actually,
Right.
um, and then they've got a sense of something that they're good at, that they feel that they enjoy, and it's also healthy because you're doing lots of exercise and stuff. But in that flow, you can also kind of help empower them, make them feel a bit more confident through their craft, but also kind of those psychological tools about, bigging them up and giving them roles that they can kind of take on and feel, that they've got sus and that they can kind of go on from that, saying, "I've done this, I've done that." And so, creative outlets are brilliant because if you can sort of establish maybe a community arts hub where people come in, you've got professionals there like you and Shreva training up people, and then you could put on performances and earn money from that, from ticket sales and stuff like that. So you can kind of
Well,
generate maybe
well,
some
my
income.
my thought is with the way the community, not just the community, but the way this society is running, it's almost on panic mode. So I was thinking people may not be thinking about the arts, but still need empowerment. They'll be thinking about jobs, they'll be thinking sustainability. And so that's where I was thinking about somehow creating some type of bartering system or so, because I know that there's some communities that have a bartering system,
Yeah.
but now it just almost seems like there's an emergency that's here that, oh, make sure you go to your shops and things like that because we're not going to be getting shipment. And so now there's panic. And so my thought was, okay, they're probably not going to be thinking about the arts. They're not going to the arts will be the first thing to leave. So I was trying to think of how to work. I can't put my
Well, what
finger on it, but I wanted to have some type of like security,
what's
sustainability.
worked in quite well in Philadelphia and other places is the agri hubs. So you've got a plot of land, and then you basically build an allotment on that, and you get people growing stuff, and then you can generate money from the stuff that you've produced. It's
Mm,
kind of got creativity in it as well.
yeah,
It's also healthy because you're getting your hands in the soil, and you're
yeah.
producing. You've got products at the end of it, and it's all bringing the community together with all those different skills. Because I was thinking, maybe not the art hub if that's not your kind of your vision. But with creative outlets, you need, like say, a theatre. It needs people putting on stuff backstage. It needs costumiers. It needs makeup artists, and it's the same with you. I guess Ariel, you'll need other people to help you combine that performance, other skills, you know, lighting or sound or whatever. So, but it's the same with things like agri hubs. You know, you've got people who are good at, say, harvesting or good at preparing foods and good at storing them, etc. So that will pull in a few kind of different kind of roles, if you like, is what I'm trying to get to. And also, it's a fun thing to do, and it's educational as well, and it feeds the local community. So, you know, that kind of addresses a bit more food security issues as well.
Yeah.
But the trouble is with that is that they've tried things like free food forests and stuff like that, which is great, and they are planning a couple more in England. But the trouble is, when people will come along and just help themselves to everything, what is would be better is to have a sustainable agri hub that, you know, works on rotation, so it's constantly producing and constantly giving people roles to, you know, jobs and stuff like that. So maybe have a think about that. That's and that brings a lot of kind of satisfaction and contentment because people are actually seeing the produce, you know, the results of their, and it's a social thing as well because when you could all gather a feast at a certain time and gather around and eat it, you know, as a community.
Yeah.
So yeah, great. Well, I wish you all the best with that.
Thank
Um,
you.
and yeah, keep us updated because if we can assist you in any way,
Thank
we'd
you.
love to do that. That'd be great.
Thank you.
So moving on to, shall I do actually
Mute,
shall I
Erica.
do, shall I do the slides then? So Erica, this is the kind of run through of what PLC is about. I've done a rather kind of raw a video with slides. So yeah, we'll run that, and that will kind of give you an overview of what we do at PLC. Okay, would you like to run the slides, please, Jenny? Sorry, thank you. You see, I'm relying on these wonderful people, Jane and Shareva and others as well. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the PLC for all you new arrivals. If you really kind of want to come out of the matrix and you know, you're in the right place. This is really a new sort of frontier, and we're setting up this lovely holistic society around the world. And so there's loads of new opportunities for people to bring their skills, talents, vocations, visions, frequencies into the mix, and you know, co-create some wonderful things. So positive living communities is basically we will help people build hubs around the world. We've got all these different benefits. Essentially, it's a holistic template where you have a community hub, you have a health hub, you have an enterprise hub, a lawful hub, and a resources hub, all in one big juicy PLC hub. So there's all sorts of different aspects to it. Essentially, what it is, it's an area that you set up either indoors or outdoors. It could be in one building, in one room, like a community hall, or it can be in several buildings or even tents if you want to set it up in a field, maybe when the weather's better. So yeah, and within that are those 5 hubs, and really you're at the centre of that. So all these hubs work for you. You know, they help you to find your vocation. They can help you with health advice and community advice, also resources that we share with people, and lawful advice as well to help you resist those unlawful claims, etc. So yeah, essentially, we've got various packages or various kind of ways of doing things. We use Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a good way of looking at that sort of whole human and what a human needs effectively. And then to help people kind of uncouple from the kind of the matrix, the slavery matrix, and find their own kind of vocation, we use ikigai, which is a sort of Japanese philosophy, and really it's essentially 4 questions that we ask people to answer, And from those answers, hopefully we can find a sort of cluster or a role or a true life calling that they can get paid for and that they love to do and that they're good at, and also the world needs. So, also there's other resources such as the learning journeys and various other supplementary kind of data as well. So yeah, we do calls each week. This week it's the public calls. Next week it's the members calls. So it's lovely to have you join us. And yeah, we offer advice, basically how to get your hubs together, particular issues, etc., with the members, and also for people who are just coming into to this sort of holistic alternative way of living. We kind of help people and guide them to understand what that's all about, really, because it's lots of new terms, lots of new concepts. And so yeah, coaching and advice for people coming out of the matrix into that sort of holistic society, and coaching and advice for people who already got their hubs up and running and are doing a marvelous job, and may need some support and advice on certain issues like team dynamics, etc., or mindset shifts and things like that. So, or even how to run, the hub in ways that are more kind of supportive for each member. So part of that, we've got the two learning journeys. We've got the one for the individual to help them come out of suffering. It's really finding your own freedom. I put a chap there with a silver suit and a foil hat, just to emphasise he's owning his freedom, and he's strolling across the street in his golden bubble of light, fully in charge of his life and living the dream. This is really it's jovial cover, but actually it's quite serious. It's actually helping a lot of people to come out of the suffering that they're in, or the situations that they're in that are causing them suffering. And a lot of that is a psychological issue or a circumstance issue. And so it's really important to help people find their own resilience and empowerment, really. So that's that learning journey for the individual. But also we've got one for the community as well. So if you want to co-create a community of people, how can you do that on a harmonic level, on a loving, kind, unity consciousness level? Because obviously there's lots of dynamics with different people involved, and that's really good as well, because it helps you to sort of find that common thread that unites you all, and help you to build your communities together, so and become more resilient and more resourceful and have more options. So those two journeys are really good if you want to go through those. Those are great. We give advice and coaching on those as well. So really, yeah, this is actually extending each month. Really, we've got more and more people we're finding are similar-minded, community groups, holistic groups, just getting on with it, really. We're affiliated with the People's Food and Farming Alliance, the People's Health Alliance. We're also food ambassador for Food Finders Hub UK. I also run Stand in the Park as well, so we're linked with Stand in the Park. We've got Free Energy Nationwide, which is brilliant. They help to replace meters and things like that. And then, so we've got Nourish Network as well. They grow food and support their community with the food. We've got Star Teachings Protocol. That's my other website. And we've got Inspirations PLG, which is the lovely Jackie White's group, Positive Living group. And we've also got the Blandford Community, Holistic Community group there as well. That's just a local holistic group, lovely group there. And there's many more, around the world. I've just put this up just to kind of give you an idea that we're sort of interconnecting with loads of different groups and networks, and they're all kind of really positive and really actually making a difference, and not kind of, really being part of the old ways that control and full of hierarchy and all those horrible things. So yeah, as part of that, we offer a hub starter kit for people who join PLC. It's literally from scratch. What do you do to create a hub, a local community hub in your area with your community. Literally, if you have no idea, this is a good starter kit because it helps you from dot to do sort of various practical things to get your group of people together and start, forming an idea of what you want to do. So that's just been released, and we've also got the Hub Starter Kit 2. 3-month members, you get a Hub Starter Kit 2, so that's a bit more detail about. That's once you've got your group together and you're meeting regularly, what sort of things can you do? So group activities, and various other things. I don't want to give it all away, so you'll have to become a member to see what it's all about. And we're just actually, I'm working on Hub Starter Kit 3, which is for the 6-month members as well, because then there's a sort of progression really as you gather your tribe, and that develops. You also kind of have to take on more different kind of dynamics really, and so that's helping with that. So yeah, this is like the hand of love poking its way out towards you through the horrible slavery matrix of material world of lots of NPCs and lots of narcissists and all those horrible people. We're reaching out to you and saying there's a brilliant community of loving, kind, expanded consciousness people who are really just getting on with it and trying to be conscious about what they're doing, and just trying to make things better for themselves and other people. So please, it would be such a joy to have you as members and help you out. So please have a look at the website and see if you'd like to become a member. Well, there you go. That's us in a nutshell. It's quite difficult to describe in some ways because a lot of the people that we're helping, they're already establishing their hubs, and a lot of the people that are coming into this, they don't even know about kind of community hubs yet. So it's kind of helping people make that mindset shift and then find a community or create a community locally that they, like-minded, because we really want to concentrate on unity consciousness, which is what unites us, what similarities, what do we share in common. Because we've been trained to look the opposite way, which is what divides us, what's different from someone else. And so part of that new kind of new earth frequencies is almost like the polar flip. It's let's use love as the guiding, as the rudder steering us, and let's unite people under similar passions, similar mindsets. And so, you don't necessarily have to agree 100% with everyone that's in your community, but you respect that everyone has differences, but you also respect the fact that you share a lot of similarities as well. So that's what kind of unity consciousness is all about. It's about bringing people together with similar mindsets, similar visions for the future Earth, and how we can build better communities. With love as the main sort of ingredient, because there's a whole lot of lacking of love in a lot of these systems out there at the moment. And also, I mean, we're seeing on the bigger picture of things, we're heading up to the solar maximum. So there's going to be maximum people waking up from all this sort of all the lies and stuff. There's going to be maximum people kind of descending, actually, still clinging on, holding on to those kind of false realities. And then there's the kind of the people in between, if you like. So everyone's at their own stage of consciousness, but if like I was talking about streams, if you can kind of bring people in, help them do the mindset shifts, introduce the new kind of language about holistic ways of being, different lifestyle changes, and also your kind of attitude to, because it's a lifestyle change, it's not a fashion thing. It's for people who realize that the old system is not serving them well and that they want to create a new one. But it's also not dictating to you what you want to create. It's just suggesting lots of ideas and information and support and resources so that you can create your path. It's not one size fits all. It's whatever suits you, and let's magnify that, and let's build on that, because you're each an individual universe, and when you get together with other people, each community will have its own flavor, and that's wonderful. That's what we want. We want that variety, and we want that globally. So the more that we can get these communities together working with that unity consciousness and being more resilient as groups of people, because then you're not picked off by the corrupt authorities, the more empowered you guys will be, and the more sort of options you'll have. There may be a fisherman in your community, or a baker, or a seamstress, or an engineer, or so you can kind of start to utilize people's skills and experiences in these communities as well. And it's like building your own kind of mall, if you like, your own village, with everyone's got their lovely skill sets that you're all feeding each other, and you're creating that wealth within those kind of sanctuary spaces. So that's kind of these are all the kind of new frequencies, if you like, or visions that are coming through people who see that the old system is based on kind of mental slavery. Really, it's making people, it's indoctrinating them from birth, giving them a very narrow perception of reality, and then saying if you step out of that reality, you're absolutely crazy. So it's kind of keeping people in these kind of small bubbles of false reality. But people are waking up and seeing just craziness out there at the moment. I mean, they're trying to block the sun, dim the sun. I mean, that's just complete madness. Life depends on the sun, all life on Earth. So I mean, and they can't decide whether a man's a woman or a woman's a man. I mean, literally, I don't. What level of psychopathy or madness do you have to kind of do they have to show us for us to start going, hang on, that's not for me, I should look elsewhere? Because we're still seeing people putting out petitions wanting their jailers to stop harming them, kind of effectively. And it's this hypnotism is making people dependent on those governments that are false. So but meanwhile there's lots of other people through trauma and various experiences have come out of that system realizing what it is, and sort of started expanding their consciousnesses and thinking, wow, there's actually a lot more abundant planet out there. It's a lot more colorful, it's a lot more loving. I don't have to entangle emotionally into these narratives. I can choose to cut all of those and create my own reality, my own alternate reality, with people who want to build a better kind of better structures, better systems for looking out for human beings and things like that. So it is an absolute joy when you guys all join me every week, because I realize this, I'm not alone, and you guys should realize that you're not alone anymore. There's other people like you who want to get together and who want to form a community and want to get on with just creating that love and that harmony and that sanctuary space and that inner peace, really, ultimately, and just get on with creating wealth for themselves and their families and their communities, but doing it in the way that they can actually shape. I mean, no one asked me for permission if they wanted to dim the sun. In these communities, you will be asked, because you're a valued member. With these governments, they just go ahead and do whatever they like without the people's consent. So obviously slightly different now in America. Now things are turning around a bit, but it's pretty much prevalent all around the world with the major governments. They're all following that horrible ideology, and the sort of climate change rubbish. So eventually they're going to come a cropper, because I was thinking about the way things happen in cycles in history, and basically a tyrant needs a support system. So if you haven't got a tyrant, if you haven't got a support system supporting that tyrant, then the tyrant can't be a tyrant. But what happens is eventually the support system for that tyrant realizes that the tyrant will put their tyranny onto them. And it usually ends up that the security of that tyrant takes out that tyrant. So, it's that's the way in history. You know, they realise that they've created a monster and they're protecting a monster, and then they realise that that monster's going to do monstrous things to them. So eventually, they kind of get rid of that monster. So you know, that's kind of the way we're going before things get slightly better. So yeah. Anyway, enough about me ranting. I wanted to get to Jane and Joe as well. How are you, Jane? How was your week?
Good. I had a very interesting meeting today with two other lovely ladies for our health hub. We had a meeting on Saturday too, PLC Helston,
I was going to ask
on
you. Yeah,
Saturday here. That
how'd
was
that go?
nice. There were 6 of us here. So yeah, that was good. Just for an hour, everybody had, they were on short things, but no, it was good. And the health hub today, we've decided. Liz Thomas, who already has a wellness day. There's a wellness day on Sunday that she's running. She's run. This is the 5th one. And she says that she sees the health hub being a little bit like that, but on a more permanent basis. But also, what she's thinking to do is have family days.
Great.
So she wants to do one at the end of the summer sometime, and in between now and then she's thinking of doing some family days on the beach or family hours on the beach, just to kind of pull people together. So
That's a good
it's
idea.
yeah. So it's looking like it's kind of beginning to move in the right direction of actually becoming a health hub. They're still talking about the one that already is already running down in West Penwith, but that's still very shot orientated. Have to stay because we're putting the videos on YouTube now, so we have to be a bit careful about what we're saying. So she's still advocating for that, the woman that's running it. So it's just not doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right.
Yeah, this is the thing. You have to be discerning, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of people are living in that false reality, unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've got to do what we've got to do, and we'll just build it slowly from the wellness days, and then expand on those, and just see where we go with it.
Yeah, and like anything, I mean, just by doing that, you'll influence people,
Yeah.
by your kind of ethos, won't you? You'll be saying, hey, this is to help you get control of your own medical information. But it's
Yeah.
also to speak with medical people who've got a bit of a broader understanding of medicines, including nutrition and all those kind of things that aren't included in the NHS. But yeah, no, that's brilliant. So,
Yeah.
well, I hope that kind of you congeal a few more kind of ideas, and also, forest bathing, not just a beach as well. That's and maybe I don't know, maybe Heligon's probably a bit too much, but sort of
It's
a
too
garden
far.
that's
It's too far from here. Yeah.
somewhere where you can go for sort of contemplation, or somewhere nice in nature would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So
Good
we'll
stuff.
do that. The other thing that I thought was interesting, she's been talking to that. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but they are the people that work within the doctor's surgeries who find places for people to go, so social healthy things or something, and the doctors are referring people to these people to find somewhere that people can go to where they're not taking medication. And we couldn't work out whether it's the doctors that are doing this or it's the patients who are saying to the doctors, we don't want more medication, we want to do something different. So I thought that was a really interesting thing as well, that people are beginning to sort of think outside the box. They don't just want to take more pills.
That's good. I mean, when
Yeah.
you think about it, the history is all laid out there, really. Big farmers making huge profits. People aren't getting better and being cured.
Mm.
Just those two alone And the third one is, third most deaths are medical misdiagnosis or So yeah, and it's really important, and people are sussing out that, with seeing friends and family that may have been injured from various kind of things. So yeah, they are starting to question, and it's affecting everyone's life on kind of some sort of
Yeah.
string somewhere. So, but yeah, keep the momentum up as well, because you're bringing in those ideas of like, here, you take back power. Here, there's a second opinion, a third opinion. Here, there's naturopathic medicines that don't have to do allopathic and stuff. And here, you can different type of consulting as well. This is not an authoritative kind of dom sub sort of system, kind of thing. Brilliant. Thanks, Jane. Moving on to Joe, the wonderful Joe. How are you? You're on mute at the moment. If you want to, yeah, you have to unmute. Hey, how are you, Joe? Nice to see you.
I thought I would practice my light language but it doesn't work, does it? No.
Work.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Yeah. I'm part of this Hive community village,
Yes, I wanted to
and
talk to you about that.
it's a similar thing that is growing tremendously. I'm not personally because I've been around for a few years. Yeah. uh, I'm not chasing anything. I'm just finding that things are coming to me. And it's been really, really interesting. There was two people that did a little event a few days ago, like a mind, body, spirit event. And people were selling crystals and jewels and everything else there, and they had speakers, etc. And the thing that got me was there was a girl that was a young girl that was on the table next to me, um, and she does these pictures
Oh,
like
okay,
this.
nice. Yeah.
She was only 10 years old.
Wow.
And her mother was there, and I had no idea, but then I saw that picture, and then I saw one of a lion's head, and lion's head mean a lot to me, being a Leo rising, and so I sort of collect them, the art. But when I saw that, for a 9, 10 year
Very
old.
talented. Yeah.
And she said, well, my daughter is not just an artist, but she's a musician and she does all these other things. And I thought, it's so beautiful how young people are expressing themselves because they're allowed to express themselves and they get encouraged by all of us. Tell me more. What do you like? Well, I'm having these funny dreams, and well, tell me what's it like? And they describe something, and all of a sudden you think, oh, hang on, someone else has just said something like that to me. Do you think that there is well, not the right words, but another dimension, higher beings we're being looked after and everything? And oh, well, of course, absolutely. And it's really, really lovely to see young children and everybody that I'm associated with getting downloads and just listening and watching and acknowledging the downloads. That's, well, Matt, I mean, that's beautiful. Really, really lovely.
I love it. I come away from events, maybe I'm giving a talk, or maybe I'm just doing a demo but the heart space of each person is so much more expanded and so much
Yeah.
more powerful because people are in that heart space, and you really feel that swimming in that love with those types of people. So it's a completely different vibe from kind of 3D stuff, because it's like a big kind of love in where everyone's kind of showing their beautiful kind of talents and skills, and everyone's bigging each
Yes.
other up and giving each other love. It's literally a sanctuary space, you know, holding space for others and stuff. And the kids can't really do that in the 3D. You know, there's no youth clubs, there's no the school. It's a kind of, you know, dog eat dog kind of environment. So these communities are literally life saving. I don't want to underestimate that. When you know about John Bowlby, attachment theory and things like that,
Yes.
you know that they're absolutely life saving, because there are so many people who are suffering at the moment from all this madness out there. And so to come into a nice sanctuary space where there's people of all ages treating them with respect and giving them that loving attention is so vital. And what's so nice is that you've got a venue where you can do that permanently. This is, you know, that's where we're aiming for with, you know, the PLC hubs, to get up permanent venues where there's that loving space, for kids to flourish, for adults to flourish, you know, no matter what age, and
No.
also kind of, you know, provide extra resources and stuff, so that it's not just psychological, it's actual physical resources as well. So, and I love what you guys at Hive are doing.
And people can feel a safe space, you know, like being in the mother's arms, no matter what the age. And when you meet someone or you speak to someone, there's just there's an entanglement in the heart, and you feel it. You don't have to say anything. You're not selling anything. You're not doing anything. You're just talking. And I think that's really, really beautiful, because it is golden out there. And we just, if we want to manifest something, we just, I keep saying just, that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. You visualize material and what you want.
Yeah.
And the meetings.
Yeah.
And we know how much the energy frequency at the moment is sort of throwing everything out of balance. And once we know that, you know, you think, okay, well, that's all right, you know. So as we said with you, you know, when you said the next meeting's on the 7th, okay, that's fine. Put that in my diary. Oh, no, actually, Joe, it's on the 1st. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry
Oh,
to have messed you about on that, Joe.
but it's really good, because I try to you know, I'm learning all the time, but I try to say, okay, Matt, that's great. I'll be there on the 1st. It's Thursday the 1st, yes, and Thursday was your trigger to realize that it wasn't the 1st, it was the 30th. But all of those little, you know, you just have to love it.
Yeah, you go with the flow, really.
You go with the flow.
And it's natural harmonics as well, you know.
Yeah.
If you realizing that you're a creator being and not a victim, you know, you can start shaping the reality you want around you, and, you know,
Yeah.
discerning what's in your bubble and what's out of your bubble. And absolutely, yeah, it's about actually just bringing back that ancient vibration where, you know, we're all sitting around a campfire, someone's playing a bit of music, there's a bit of food, everyone's, you know, people singing and having a good time and chatting. You know, that's since dot time immemorial, that's worked those frequencies, you know,
Exactly.
community kind of gathering frequencies. So
Yes.
it's nothing new, and it's built hardwired into our DNA. So it's
Yes.
just a kind of modern kind of version of that, because, you know, it's gone so far that the crazy way that people are almost forgetting what it's like to be just that natural harmonic, that natural human, that connected to the earth, connected to your heart, you know. So in some ways it's very simple kind of instructions to help people kind of shift their mindsets and stuff,
Yes.
go from head energy to heart energy. But also in some ways it's really difficult for people to get there. So, you know, everyone's at their own speed and level. So having these kind of sanctuary spaces gives people the time to grow and expand as well, you know, at their own rate as well. So
I think
really good.
you probably saw it. You know me, I don't do television. If something comes up on the news feed, or if it's funny, or if it's about an animal or whatever, and it strikes a note within me. I'll pass it on. I'll send it out. And somebody sent a picture of Woodstock which I went to in America, and there was masses, huge. It was a huge crowd, and everybody was sitting there quiet. Nobody was overweight. They were just, and they were just enjoying it. And I thought that was really interesting because when you look at the situation now, um, it's different.
Yeah, it's commercial, isn't it? So it's all about having some kind of experience, and
Yes.
then that in that experience, it's all financial. It's all kind of commercial. It's not heart. It's not intrinsic. It's not deep. It's shallow. Kind of, let's go and experience this. Let's go and experience that. Um, and it's not actually. Yeah, you don't sit down anymore and kind of listen and just tune in. The sort of audiences are different now. They're a different kind of like woo woo kind of
Yep.
thing. It's all sort of branding as well with musicians and
And
stuff like
it's
that.
it's the flavor of the month at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then all of a sudden at 12, oh no, you
Yeah,
can't do that. That's not really. And then something else. So we learn to rely on ourselves, and what's in here, and it's a really good. It's just an amazing time we're in.
absolutely. I mean, the heart is the strongest force in the universe, so
Yes.
it creates whole civilizations and stuff like that. So if people can tap into their hearts, then they can't really go that far wrong on the kind of wider level, of love, for all of life and humanity and stuff. So lovely to hear from you, Joe. Thank you. I
And
moved.
it's
Oh,
just smiling with somebody when you walk down the street,
yeah, it's free.
giving a smile and hi,
Makes
you
all the
know.
difference. It can cheer someone up for a whole day, as well. That
Yes.
sort of stuff. So really good. And I'd like to kind of maybe, if we get a chance, maybe in the next 2 weeks, maybe speak a bit more about Hive and what they're doing, because I think it's worth explaining your sort of dynamics in your community hub, because each one has a slight variation. So it's nice to hear, how other people are getting on and doing that as well, if that's all right
Joe,
with you.
where are you located?
Eastleigh, just north of
In UK.
Southampton. Oh, sorry, Hampshire. Yeah, UK.
But you sound American. Are you American?
Well, yes, but that was a long, long time ago. And no, yeah, I'm basically from San Diego.
Okay.
And I moved over here in 1976. There was so much everything, and just one day follow this. And this, as Matt knows, the synchronicities that have happened every single day for what? Well, 65 years now.
That's what happens when you come to move to England, Shareva.
But
It's an amazing place.
it's a magical.
Well,
Yes, yeah. And people used to say, well, have you been on holiday? And when are you going back? I am on holiday. I wake up in the morning on holiday, and I just am so grateful for everything.
you know what? I think it's a
The
result of
spills.
what you're putting out, Joe. I mean, love comes back to us, and because you're such a graceful being, and so generous, I think that's what's enriched you. That synchronicity is also, it's coming from you, but that's the result of the universe matching those frequencies and bringing those people and experiences to you as well.
And as
So
I've
that's a
said
good.
that before, it's I'm willing to throw out what I'm talking about now or what I'm living now, in 6 months' time, if it's old hat, I'm willing to throw it all out. Just give me something better that's for me and to help humanity. And that's it. And just
And that
keep malleable.
absolutely, yeah, just go with the flow and
Yes.
see. And actually, when you're in the flow, you see more opportunities as well. So
Yes.
to do things. Thank you, Joe. That's brilliant. Moving on to Shareva. Hello, Shareva.
Hello, hello. How are
How are
you?
you? I'm
Good.
good. How's your week?
Great. Very good week. Um, so I may have an opportunity to take a lot of the classes that are currently at my studio and move them over to my private studio for the summer because the studio that we take classes at are not offering adult classes. So I got a quote for insurance, and that, of course, now that it could be a real thing that I could actually commit, my mind is kind of saying, okay, what can I do with this? I have all kinds of ideas of incorporating PLC concepts into an arts community without them knowing. You know, I'm
Still,
gonna I'm gonna sneak in PLC and star knowledge without anybody knowing. So I don't know. It's still early. I have a couple weeks before I have to, I don't know. How's that for an answer?
great. I mean, well, if you can, have work over the summer, that's brilliant, and provide a space that would not be there otherwise.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. And also, it's networking as well, isn't it? A bit because they'll say to other people, oh, Shareva's I know someone who's got a studio that's you know that you can hire or whatever it is, however you work that out.
Mm.
And of course another creative outlet as well, which is another brilliant thing. So yeah, lots of options there for you,
Mhm.
and that's good. I think um, maybe have a look at because if at the end of summer they'll probably open up the school again, won't they? So maybe have a look at ways in which you can still generate money after that. Yeah, give you a decent income, or you know, or maybe even hire people to train, or so lots of potential ideas to go through. That's good. And of course, yeah, creative outlet, which is brilliant expression, which is the opposite of depression. So that's brilliant.
Where are you
And
based?
what's that?
I'm just outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
Ah, oh, yes.
Yes.
Uh,
We've got a worldwide audience, Joe.
yes,
It's
I know. I know.
mm,
And listen, with a smile like yours, you will attract, well,
all sorts.
yeah, no, no. But it's just lovely how, how we're entangling together and building together.
It's brilliant. When you're talking with loads of people from around the world, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they're, neighbors. It's a lovely feeling, and that kind of the same kind of mindsets, around the world. It's such a an empowering feeling. Such, this it makes you hopeful. It's not all doom and gloom. There are people out there pushing forward with a better way and stuff. So yeah, it really kind of takes a lot of that kind of trauma away when you know that there are people like that around. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Shareva. Christine, hi. Nice to see you.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
No worries, no obligations. It's
Just
fine. Whenever,
catching up.
dip in and dip out whenever you like. Just,
Well,
I
the
just
weather's so nice, isn't it?
oh,
Loads to do.
gorgeous. Yeah, we had a friend of Shareva on the show, Erica, who's another creative person. Just wanted to know a bit about PLC from
Hmm.
all the brilliant things Shareva's been saying about us. And then we've got the lovely Joe, who's running the Hive community. Where is it, down in Lyndhurst? Is that right, Joe?
Yes. Yeah.
Lyndhurst in near New Forest. So
right.
yeah.
Mhm.
And Christine has horses and she's got land. So yes, and these are all kind of helping people with the resources that they've got basically to hand, and then encouraging them to kind of grow those resources if possible, or adapt and change. So how's your week been, Christine?
Yeah, it's been good actually. I've got lots of sun, so plenty of vitamin D. So, yeah, my hedge, I'm really pleased with my hedge because I laid it through the winter. That's full of flower, the hawthorn and everything's come back. It looks really good.
Brilliant.
Um, Not the mess, when you first lay it and everything, it doesn't look very good, but no, I'm really pleased with how it's come back. Apart from that, just been lots growing, sorting out, and um I've got 4 cockerels from a friend at the moment. They're in my empty chicken house. I think they're going for food, but I'm not sure. I just said yes, I'd take them in because she hatched a load of chicks for me.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but she's also found somebody who's got a kit that they want to sell for a decent amount of money. So I said yes. So I don't know. I'll be having chick babies.
Well, that's cool. I mean, eggs are one of the most ecological, economical, ethical kind of food resources
Yeah.
sources, because they contain everything that a human being needs apart from vitamin C. So, and
Mhm.
you're not killing an animal. Well, and you kind of are, but
No.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Chickens lay eggs all the time, sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, this is lovely. I got given a tomato plant today because from Vicky, who's also a PLC member, and
Mm.
her garden's coming on. So we're hearing all about people's gardens and
Yeah.
Jane's polytunnel and Shareva's raised beds, etc. So it's really
Yeah. I've
exciting.
been seeing the pictures. They look great. Yeah.
It's good as well. I'm really looking forward to when people start harvesting them, because if you've
Ah.
got excess, you
Mhm.
can then say, hey, look, I popped this down the road in the local village shop for people to have for free, or I
Yeah.
put it in a box out in the front, etc. and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
great.
I picked a load of radish today, so I've been eating those. They're not my favorite food, but I've grown them, so I've eaten them.
No, it's good. I mean, if you think about it, everything that you grow is one less trip to the supermarket, isn't it? And
Yeah.
also,
Well, I
and
don't
also,
buy from there anyway.
it's and it's liquid gold. Literally, the ground,
Mm.
Mother Earth just keeps giving constantly. So if you're lucky enough to have ground, then you can literally
Mm.
um, sustain yourself better. With some of the things that you produce and grow and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
just wanted to kind of say that how much I appreciate all you guys. This is not like a big kind of slick thing. It's not a big fanfare. This is just a gentle change in direction from the madness out there, and it's us all creating our own reality because we're creator beings. And it's lovely sharing those visions and those projects together as well, because some of us will have visions that we'll want to share and build and start creating. So
Mm.
that's really exciting. I'm hoping next month, Jane, that I'm putting a load of stuff on Stand in the Park to do with bailiffs, how you deal with debt collectors. So I'm going to really pump a lot of resources into the lawful section as well for people, because I think these kind of like 1 minute, 2 minute clips are really good little kind of ways in which people can kind of understand the language, and they're a lot better than, say, some initiatives where you have to join, sign up, then they
Mm.
get given you a course, and if you don't get it, they have a go at you, and it's the onus is on you to learn the language and do all the legal stuff. And some people aren't kind of wired up that way. So I want to be able to kind of provide a few more kind of resources for people just to look up quickly, and then they'll be able to kind of know that bit of knowledge a bit quicker and be able to kind of speak if they're challenged. So I'm hoping to flesh out next month the PLC properly, have a good go through the members area. There's a whole other section in the health area I want to do about light, just light on its own, the various different types of light that's being used, like the blue light, the LED lights, natural light wavelengths and things like that. So, and these are going to be like quick kind of nuggets of information for people to kind of get, more aware and expand their consciousness a bit more, but without kind of telling them what to do, sort of thing. So how are we doing for time?
5 to 9.
5 to 9. Gosh, it goes by so quickly. It's brilliant. Well,
That's really good. That's really good, Matt. Those little one-liner, the strap lines or two-liners about something is so important, isn't it? Because people will, even if they just read over it and pass it by, it will stick, rather than when you get galleys and galleys and galleys of explanation. I think there might be a lot in there, but by the time I
doesn't
read
stick with
that,
me.
it'll be dinner time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And I don't, if I wanted to learn, legalese, I'd become a barrister, kind
Yeah,
of thing. So these little nuggets are really good because people pick them up quicker. And also, if they know there's that resource where you can pick up those little bite-sized pieces of information,
yeah,
it just goes in a lot quicker. And you can also tell other people about it. Hey, there's this resource here. I learnt this sort of thing about the law or about whatever, whether it's to do with health. Also, I'm going to work on the enterprise hub as well, because recently there was a international banker who saw my theory on heart based unity economics, which is basically saying that the people are the currency. If you invest in the people, in love in them, and give them resources to flourish, that's going to be the economy going forward in the new 5G era. And then this chap wrote it up and put it through AI, and the AI agreed with me, which I was quite chuffed with. But it seemed that from what the AI was saying, that is a projected path for us anyway. So because there's no other alternative, the other alternative is extinction. So I mean, on a broad level. So that's good. So I'm going to be putting stuff in to the enterprise hubs, because we want to get people earning from their own jobs, empowered by their own earnings, and a wonderful variety of different things that people can make or produce or grow. So or provide as a service even. So all those lovely things to come. Well, guys, thank you. I think we're all right for 9 now, aren't we? It's around that time. I like to kind of keep it short because it's more exciting that way, and we've all got something to give as well, so I can get round to everyone as well. But yeah, just keep on being amazing as you all are, and doing what you do naturally, and that's going to be the example. There's no, you don't have to walk around saying I'm a 5D being with a badge on you. You just be that being. It's just to be, basically, and that light will infect other people, and they'll go, oh, I want some of that. There's some magnetism going on there. So yeah, just carry on being wonderful, beautiful, expanded consciousness, divine beings of light. And this is actually the dominant frequency. It's going to be infecting the whole of Earth, because it's such a high vibe, and because it gives people such pleasure, and it's lasting. So we've got it's growing and growing, but it's it's not going to be an overnight kind of trending thing. It's going to be an individual lifestyle choice. And I think that's the best way, because then people come to that conclusion naturally, and it's not forced, and it's not a trend or a fashion kind of thing. It's integral, and it's authentic. So yes, keep it up, and love you all loads, and we'll catch up on the members next Wednesday. And if not, we'll catch up on the open call the week after that. So appreciate you all. Thank you very much, and chat to you guys soon. Lots of love.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, Matt.
Bye,
Bye,
bye.
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.